that's like my iPad setup there. Do you see that's like a big pad there, and I just use, how do I do this? My iPad. It does everything I need it to, and I'll show you in this video. So I use Anki every single day. It's been the most effective and efficient way of reviewing my flashcards for my exams. And using a controller with it just makes it a lot more fun, making the process more enjoyable, and it gamifies it and makes it a lot quicker going through them. I make it with these customizable swipes, and generally it helps me have a single purpose device to review my flashcards, and I found no better way than doing it. This is why I use an iPad, is because of this swipe feature. How you swipe up, take a screenshot, and send it directly to ChatGPT to ask a question. The way I understand things is by really understanding the key question to ask and really interrogating and like trying to find the solution. And I think the more questions I ask ChatGPT, it allows me to actually understand the content more. And I think generally it's going to be a way that people will learn in the future. And I think the way we learn is by asking and finding the solutions to the questions that we don't really understand. And the best thing about using the iPad is you can use a thing called the infinite canvas, which I use on a daily basis to like flesh out derivations and like link in ideas. And it's just generally been the best way for me to like expand the view of like my paper and keeping everything organized. And also I use the Apple Pencil a lot. And the new Apple Pencil Pro has this squeeze function, which I just set out to be the eraser, which is like much, much better than the double tap. And honestly, it's been really useful. So I have the swipe up function as like normally going to my to-do list, but this is just a quote that I captured today. The main reason why I use my iPad is because it has everything in one place. The calculator app is now being finally updated, so I don't have to log around my physical calculator with me all the time. I still like using my physical calculator just for nostalgia, and I find it a little bit more effective. Even though I love digital note-taking, I still adore like analog methods. That's why I still use a paper planner to track my time and where my intention goes throughout the day. I love the big notebooks because they can really help flesh out like tutorial questions and stuff like that. And also when I really want to focus and there's a lot of background noise, I like to put my AirPods in that connect instantly, which is like amazing. And on the iPad, there's this recent feature that's been added where you can like have background brown noise instantly, where you just go down there and you can add it to your control menu and have it background noises. And they have like all these pre-built like sounds that you can use, which I think is great. I just use dark noise because I find it quite good. And honestly, noise cancelling headphones and then that background noises, and you literally cancels out like the whole world and you can't hear anything, which is bloody great, honestly. This flashcard is an image inclusion flashcard, which can be quite good, but I kind of prefer to use basic flashcards as you've seen here, and they're the ones I mainly use. Another reason I use my iPad a lot, which is amazing, is this scratch pad feature where I can like annotate over the flashcard, and it's been like the most effective way for me to review flashcards on the go, like around my lectures and stuff like that, because I don't need to have other things with me. So I use the app Burnout Buddy, which has been really useful to like block distractions and like Safari websites that I don't want to go onto. And I use this content restriction on screen time to stop myself from deleting it and installing different applications that are distracting. The only one that I've got there is Minecraft, but I hardly play that because I don't have the time at the moment. I use Kindle quite a bit, but I prefer to read on my Kindle Paperwhite because it's more portable and I like the e-ink screen on it. So I just leave the iPad on night shift and have it as the max setting because I find that the easiest on the eyes. And then if I'm using my iPad like before bed, I put it on this like red scale so it's easier on my eyes and I don't have to have as much like blue light going into my eyes, which I prefer. I find the iPad like a lot better than like some e-ink tablets like books, and I found that I have less eye strain with using the iPad because of the high refresh rate, and I just find it easier because it's much quicker to like move around, and the ghosting on the e-ink for multitasking is a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. And something I use as well is having this reduce white point feature, which can be quite useful as well if you find the brightness too much. Generally, I think with eye strain is when you are studying for too long, go outside, look at something in the distance, let your eyes breathe from one focus point. So I used to be a heavy user of Google Chrome, but now on Safari they have this like reader option where you can just put it into like reader mode, and I just find it so much easier for web articles. And the best thing for me and my dyslexia is it reads it out for me, which is like amazing, and it does this summarize feature, which is just so clutch and so useful.
Mathematical expression involving the product of a distance and a physical quantity such as a force or electric.
I think the Magic Keyboard is a great device if you want to make the iPad replace your MacBook, but for me, I generally don't need a keyboard that much, and this one does quite well in my bag and is quite much lighter than the Magic Keyboard. The crazy thing is that the iPad is actually almost as heavy as the Magic Keyboard itself, which I didn't really like. And plus for me, I find that I can actually type really quickly with the swiping gesture, and also just speaking to the iPad, so I don't really feel the need for a trackpad or a keyboard really. But for me, generally, it doesn't replace my MacBook at all because of things like Word and Zotero, which is like a reference storer for when you have to write your dissertation, and I use it a lot, and it just makes that much easier. And I haven't found a way to do that on the iPad yet, and it makes it much more difficult. And generally, I learned how to edit on Final Cut Pro, and I don't want to learn on the iPad and pay the monthly fee. And also, because I have to do a lot of coding for my individual project this year, VS Code on the Mac is fully fledged, and you can't use it on the iPad, so that's a big thing that's annoying for me. Also, another thing is that on the Mac, the Anki application is actually fully usable, and you have all the add-ons, and you can basically screenshot text and images so much quicker, and using applications like OWL, OCR, which is really useful. Generally, making flashcards is a lot quicker on my MacBook, so that's what I've been doing. Then I generally review them on my iPad. The iPad for me has definitely been my favourite piece of tech that I have used in my lifetime, because when I started to use it for studying, it really helped me organise all my notes, have it all in one place, and actually generally learn to enjoy studying. I remember having it in side by side, having a YouTube video on the left from some maths YouTuber, and just trying to understand and write on the right. And I couldn't have done that with any other device, and it really helped me. I don't know, it was a device that helped me learn to learn, and generally I still don't think it can replace a MacBook. So if you're in a budget for one thing, I would just definitely choose a MacBook Air over the iPad, because it's more functional and it can do more. But generally the iPad's really helped me, and I think it's a great device if you learn how to use it and make it work for you. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your week. Peace.